Maleficent is none too pleased when word gets to her that her goddaughter, Queen Aurora, has become engaged to Prince Philip of Ulstead. Things get further exacerbated when at a royal dinner, Queen Ingrid, Philip's mother, calls out Aurora for not having a real family. Maleficent lashes out and says there will be no wedding. However, Ingrid has an ulterior motive, and it looks like war is going to be brewing between the humans and the Fae. This is Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. So, yeah, I will admit I did like this film more than the first Maleficent. I did not like the first one that much. It just, going with the whole rape revenge allegory for some reason, it just didn't seem to rub me right, especially in a Disney film. Like I said, I thought it was a little overblown, and it just, yeah, like I said, it just didn't quite click with me very well at all. But this one, I think this one worked a lot better. I think, the parts where it was really good were really good. Unfortunately, there's also kind of a whole lot of nothing that happens in between those parts. Like I said, part of the backstory, the other backstory with this, as in between films, even though obviously Maleficent had her face turned at the end of the first film, you know, she's still regarded as being evil because, you know, like, the story just keeps getting told and told and told again, and they're just leaving out the good part, I guess. The part where she has a reformation. So, yeah, she's still treated as something of a threat. And Queen Aurora is wanting to try to broker a peace between the Moors and the humans, and the denizens of the Moors, basically, and the humans. But something's going on, too, where some of the pixies are, not pixies, fairies are getting stolen, or, yeah, basically they're getting abducted. And also some of this flower that's called the Toon Bloom is getting harvested too, and the Toon Bloom sprouts where basically when a Fae folk dies, like the Toon Bloom comes out of it, and it's a special flower. And so from that and then we get the engagement, and like I said, the party and everything. And it turns out Ingrid has basically taken the wings off a pixie, and she is using him as an alchemist to mix this poison gas from the Toon Bloom and iron that can form, and basically with some of the lesser fairy, they get turned into normal things. So like the flower fae gets turned into a flower, and so forth. And also on top of that, King John, Philip's father, is apparently cursed, and it looks like Maleficent did it, and she flies off, and they shoot her with an iron bullet, and that's where the Dark Fae, which is Maleficent's kind, find her and rescue her. And the Dark Fae are led by a man named, a male Fae, called Connell, and then there's another one whose name just completely escapes me at the moment. It was Laurel or something like that, and Laurel is very warmongery, but Connell wants peace, and one, because he knows that the Fae are massively outnumbered and they have no choice. And like I said, when you're getting into like the Fae lore and stuff of that nature, that's actually really interesting and really well done. And some of the action scenes are really well done. Unfortunately, like in between, there's just kind of a lot of spinning. The plot spins its wheels a lot of times, and it's just stuck there. I mean, we have Aurora first not believing Maleficent is evil, then kind of believing Maleficent is evil, and then agreeing that the wedding has to take place, and then they invite all the Fae folk from the Moors over to basically spring a trap on them and hit them with this gas. That Aurora is not privy to any of this information, nor is Philip. It's all Ingrid on her own. Ingrid is Michelle Pfeiffer's character, obviously. So yeah, and like I said, it's just kind of this. The plot's like stopping to go to these people, and it's like I don't really care about these people at all. It's like this is stuff that really should have been metered out a little bit more. Like really, Maleficent being rescued by the Dark Fae happens about a third of the way through the movie, and it really should be happening more like towards the midpoint of the movie. And they do, like I said, they do get more into Maleficent's lore, and I guess I'll explain what the big thing is. She is a rare kind because she is actually descendant from the progenitor of the Fae, which is a phoenix. And she achieved a spiritual transformation when she rescinded her curse. And it turns out, like, the curse that has affected King John, it's from the same spindle from Maleficent's first curse. But it's not Maleficent who did it, it's Queen Ingrid. She stabbed him during basically in the confusion as Maleficent was lashing out at the dinner party. So, yeah. It doesn't seem too big a shock that Ingrid's evil. I mean, if you've seen the trailers, everything's basically setting up to that. And eventually, Maleficent also finds out about the Tomb Bloom heart is being harvested, and that sets up another trap. And Conal winds up taking a bullet for her, an iron bullet. So, yeah, he winds up dying, and another war starts to break out, but Maleficent realizes she needs to first she joins the war, but she's basically trying to do it to broker some type of peace. And along the way, obviously, Aurora finds out, and eventually, like, goodness wins, and like I said, the fact that Maleficent is descendant of the Phoenix does play into it, I'll just say that. And, eventually Maleficent gives her blessing to the wedding. She knows Philip is good. She knows King John is good. She knows Ingrid is basically responsible for all of this crap. And, the wedding goes off, and Ingrid gets turned into a goat. So, and eventually peace is brokered, and everyone lives happily ever after, I guess. So, yeah, like I said, the parts where we're getting into, like, Maleficent's lore and some of the action sequences are really well done. Unfortunately, it's like I said, the whole stuff with the wedding and Ingrid's plotting and all that stuff, like, that's just so spinning its wheels. It's so uninteresting. It even makes the final fight scene really boring, even though you have all of these flying creatures coming in, and the gas is hitting them, and if it hits the Dark Fae basically just dissolve. And but the other fairy creatures, they get hit and they basically revert to normal. So, like, the mushroom one turns into a mushroom, the tree one turns into a tree. You get the idea. So, like, that stuff's really interesting, but there isn't enough of it. There's just kind of a lot of lulls in this, and it really makes this kind of monotonous at times. So I'm going to be giving Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, a C.
Must be love at first sight, royal style belle tonight. Tuning bells dressed around makes a pretty magic gown. Combing sparkles through her hair as the feast starts to prepare. Tried his best to say the least, royal style belle and beast. Brought together must be fate, dancing now on their date. From his spell the prince released, royal style belle and beast.
New royal style belle doll's dress turns into a beautiful evening gown. These dolls sold separately.
Okay, trailer time, and well, we got 8 trailers and 2 new ones at least. Unfortunately, that's just kind of it. Starting things off, we have Arctic Dogs. Again, that's a film that in the last week has suddenly gotten really problematic. After that, we had our first new trailer, Dolittle, the Dr. Dolittle remake with Robert Downey Jr. that's been in production hell for like 2 years, I think. And now it's even been shifted to the January slot, so you know how much faith they have in it. Then we had Spies in Disguise again, Charlie's Angels again, Playing with Fire again, Onward again, Frozen 2 again, and then we finish things off with our last new trailer, Jungle Cruise, which, doesn't look bad. It's definitely probably going to be the banter between The Rock and Emily Blunt is probably going to save that. It is Emily Blunt, right? Oh well, I'm probably wrong. So the next video up after this is going to be the random trade review on Invincible Iron Man: The Five Nightmares. I've got everything shot, I've got the scans, I've got the audio, so all I got to do is edit that together. And then next movie review is going to be Black and Blue. After that, the next movie is going to be probably Terminator Dark Fate, as that's really kind of the only thing coming out other than Arctic Dogs. And again, since the last week, I'm not entirely sure I want to review that. So, anyway, see you all next time.
Hey guys, check out my Patreon and see how you can request a movie for me to review, even if it's some stinker like A Dog's Way Home or the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Also, if you like what you see, give the video a like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell.